Hey there, Danny here. Welcome to my ramblings. Um, I don't, I haven't shared much of my story with you about my second ex-husband. I've shared with you that he was addicted to meth, and all kinds of other things that he cheated repeatedly through most of our relationship. But he was, in my world, the second best world's manipulator. And here's why. This man, at the end of our relationship, when I started to discover that he had multiple affairs, this man literally, and I've got video footage of it. I never got rid of it. I don't know why I held on to it, because I just felt that I needed to. But he would literally punch himself in the eye and give himself a black eye. He even one time took a baseball bat and smashed himself upside the head and cracked open his head, and it was bleeding. And I kept asking him why he's doing this. What are you doing? What is the point of this? Well, when he disappeared, the day that he disappeared, I contacted his employer because he had left his cell phone at home and was just gone. And they told me that they couldn't tell me anything because he was an abuse victim. So this man, and I suspected this, and I asked him, I called him out on this at one point, because he pretended to be suicidal, and he would hit himself and cause bruises and damage to himself in visible spots so everybody could see it. And he claimed that I was doing this. And anybody who knows me knows I'm not a violent person. Anyways, I remember saying to him one time, I said, why do you keep doing this? Do you want to know what I fear? I fear that you're going to try to kill yourself and you're going to try to frame me for murder. And he goes, well, that's absurd. How absurd is it if you can punch yourself in the eye repeatedly to give yourself a black eye? This man was exactly the same height as me, weighed 135 pounds. I was 105 pounds. And supposedly I beat him up. It really blew my mind that somebody could be so sick and sadistic that they would physically cause themselves pain to try to prove to other people that I was the problem. Who punches themselves repeatedly? And he did this in front of me. He would punch himself in front of me. And he cracked his head open, and he did these things in front of me. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And he would always say, I'm just worthless. I'm no good, blah, blah, blah. And then he ran around telling everybody I did it to him. But I got video footage of it. I didn't always catch him in the act of actually doing it. But after he did it, I'm like when he cracked his head with the baseball bat. Because I always, and if you look back at a couple of my videos, you'll see that when my children were younger, I always had a baseball bat behind my bedroom door. I used to joke with it was a joke with my kids. I never had to get physical with my children. I didn't think that was how you raise that's not how a loving person is. You don't have to smack somebody around. That's not love. That's control, and that's power. But I used to joke with my kids that when they became teenagers, I used to tease them, don't make me mad. Don't make me go get that baseball bat from behind my bedroom door, because it'll bring you down to my level. It was an ongoing joke. Well, he took that baseball bat and he smacked himself upside the head. And when I went and got the camcorder at that point, and I was like, why do you do this? What is your point in doing this? Well, the point was, literally was, because he was running around telling everybody that I was abusing him. What kind of a sick human being would physically hurt themselves like that just to make it look like they are a victim? That is one mental problem that I don't think any human being could ever fix. That is some psychotic, sociopathic shit right there. That's all I got to say. And that relationship really was eye-opening and was very difficult to process the stuff. I had to go through some support help, mental support help, in order to process the whole thing, because who causes themselves that kind of physical pain and then runs around telling everybody totally with a straight face like he's a victim that I did it to him, when he did it to himself? And I got video footage of this stuff. It was a hard thing to process. And my biggest fear, and I had told him it several times, was that he was going to commit suicide and try to frame me for his murder. And that's when I decided, that's it. I can't keep doing this. And then he just disappeared. So what he didn't realize was that was the best gift he ever gave me. But that was a very devastating time in my life. That was back in 2012. And then after that, God would give me a man who showed me what real love was. And from then on, that's pretty much how I measured other men. The man that he gave me that showed me what real love was, is no longer with us. He passed in 2017. But I won't settle. I know exactly what I want. And I just wanted to share that story with you, because some of these abusers are so crazy. And when you're living in it, you're literally like, how is this even happening? This is something that I watch on a true crime movie or Lifetime or something like that. It's not something that you actually physically live in. And to actually live in it, it really messes your mind up for a minute. But he ran around telling everybody how I beat him. I mean, he literally would sit there and pound his fist in his eye until it turned black and blue. I mean, I would never do that to somebody. That's just cruel. I don't believe in violence. I don't believe that any type of violence. I don't believe that spanking. I don't believe that hitting an animal. You do not teach somebody to behave and have boundaries and respect you by violence. That is you teaching them to be afraid of you. Well, fear is not involved in love. So you must correct the behavior. So when it comes to children or my animals, with my children, I would talk to them at their level, wherever they were age-wise, and explain to them why it was wrong and everything else. With my dogs, it's more consistency and eventually they get it. But I don't believe in using fear as a means to control another human being. Any form of violence other than self-defense is literally 100% literally a way to control somebody. It is not love. It is about power and control. Violence is all about power and control. If you have to get violent with another human being or another living, breathing being, you're a crazy person. You're insane. You're unhealthy. Go get some help. You need it desperately. And anybody out there, man or woman, that is dealing with somebody that goes to the extent that my second ex-husband did, feel free to reach out, because I had to go through a lot of I had to go through a lot of of support in order to be able to understand what the hell went on, because it was just insane. And I can forgive people for anything that they've done to me. But there was always one thing that I could never forgive. And the one thing that I could never forgive was if somebody hurt my child or children, either one or both. And so that's pretty much why I couldn't. I could never forgive him, because he just disappeared. He had been in my children's life since they were 2 and 4. And he just up and left, never said goodbye, never anything to them. It was, not only did I have to deal with the reality that he created for me, I also had to help my children get through their devastation of the fact that he just could up and leave like he did. And that was a very hard process to go through. So if you're going through something that just seems like, because life is always crazier than fiction. And the truth is, when you're living in it, you cannot believe that this is taking place. Your mind is blown that this is even possible. These people are, you watch the true crimes, you watch the Lifetime movies and everything else, and you're thinking, God, this human being's a psychopath. They're crazy. You never imagine that you're going to go through it. And when you go through it, it's scary. You feel like you're living in a world that how is this even reality? It's hard to explain, but if you've been through it or you're going through it, please feel free to reach out, because I will gladly help you get through it. This is the reason that I keep this, all the things that I had to go through and grow from, I went through, and I did all kinds of stuff to be able to get to where I am. Because my goal was, if I could go through this, there are other people that are going through it. How can I help them get past it so they don't lose their mind? Because you question yourself if you're crazy or not. You have to, because this can't be happening. So if you're sitting in that position, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, feel free to reach out. I have ways of helping you get past it and understanding it. And understanding it isn't anything other than you've been manipulated. You've been controlled. You've been under mind manipulation from a psychopath or a sociopath. And I don't like putting labels on anybody. Oh, and speaking of labels, I've been informed by a few people that some of them think they're an empath. Let me explain to you what an empath is. An empath is literally somebody who only cares about the truth. They care about nothing else. They want no manipulation. They want no power. They want no control. They know, an empath truly knows, the only person that they can control is themselves. And that's why their cutoff game is so strong. So if you want to believe that you're an empath, you have to know that if you lie, you manipulate, you play games, you are nowhere near being an empath. That is not anything it is. But again, I don't care for the labels. I think that the labels are what keep us trapped in our preconditioning. So I just wanted to share this with you. So if anybody else out there is going through it, please reach out. Come on, I'll help you figure this out. We'll look up resources wherever you're at. We'll get you on the path to healing, so you can learn to love yourself, find your true authentic self, and learn to energetically level up. Get on your walk with the man upstairs. It's a great place to be. So I will let you go with that. I hope you have a great day. Love ya. Bye.